Hello friends, myself Professor Love Patel. We are talking about subject vehicle dynamics, particular tire mechanics. So in this chapter we have already discussed about how tire is going to affect our overall vehicle performance while braking, taking turn, accelerating, gradient position. So we have already talked about it. So in today's lecture we are going to talk about mainly three topics that are combined braking and cornering, conicity and ply steer, and rolling resistance. So in earlier we have seen that how tire is going to affect overall our braking efficiency. So basically we can say that the tire is are having different properties that directly or indirectly affect our braking, or we can say the braking of our overall vehicle, or we can say that the while taking turn, left turn or right turn, that overall geometry of tire that is going to affect our overall cornering properties. So in today's lecture we are going to talk about combined braking and cornering. So we have a graph that is longitudinal and lateral forces that are combined forces from while braking and while turning, and versus longitudinal sleep, that is in percentage. So here you can see that the sleep angles are 2, 4, 8 and 16. Fx, that is the longitudinal force, and Fy, that is lateral force. So we can say that the tire is operated under different conditions, like simultaneously longitudinal and lateral sleep. So due to that forces and due to that sleep angle, how that is our forces are going to react, so that we can calculate, or we can find, or we can analyze from these kind of graph. The second point is lower sleep angle is used to reduce the lateral force while braking condition. Okay, so in this graph we can say that the at 2 degree sleep angle, for longitudinal force that is suddenly rises, or we can say the increases, and we can say the maximum force, longitudinal force is maximum at sleep angle at 2 degrees Celsius, 2 degree, while if we are talking about lateral sleep, so that is minimum for the same sleep angle. So you can say that the difference between longitudinal and lateral force while we are changing sleep angle, so that is going to affect our lateral and longitudinal forces. Moving further, one term is there, that is friction circle. So basically we can see that there is a graph between lateral force and brake force. So friction circle is a concept how we can find lateral force or brake force according to different sleep angle of our tire. So in that case we can see that the effect of lateral force when braking is applied, that is illustrated in our graph. Also brake force is applied and the lateral force gradually diminishes. We can say that the by the time, so at here we are going to take an example. So at 4 degree sleep angle we can say that the brake force we are increasing. So due to that, at initial level we will find around 575 pound lateral force at 4 degrees sleep angle. If we are increasing brake force, what will happen? It at the same time it is constant for lateral force, and again it is decreasing, and at certain point it is going to diminish. So due to that type of graph, or we can say due to that readings 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10 sleep angle, what we will find? We will find a friction circle. Here you can see that that is given in dash line. So one friction circle is generated. So according to that circle, or we can say the imaginary circle, we can say that the how much brake force is required to diminish such lateral forces. So we can assume that from this kind of graph. So this is about friction circle. Moving further, that is our next topic, conicity and ply steer. So these two are the different topics that we are going to learn. First is the conicity. So it is a parameter based on lateral force behavior. So in this figure you can see that our tire, that is perfectly balanced, or we can say the dynamically perfect. But the day by day, due to the road resistance, the surface of tire is not symmetry. So due to that reason, what will happen, our tire shape is like cone. It is going to like cone. And how cone react in our surface, so we can say that the lateral force, or we can say it pulled to the inside. If we are putting a cone on our surface, what will happen, it automatically attract to the center point, or we can say the lateral force in this phenomena. So you can say that the cone effect causes pull. So pull is going to happen. In this second diagram, you can see the clockwise and counterclockwise rotation. And due to that cone shape, what will happen? Lateral force is going to generate. So these kind of characteristics, these are tire's tendency to roll like a cone. If I'm going to talk about cone, so that is called conicity. So these, what will happen, it directly affects the steering performance on the vehicle. So we have to control, or we have to control the vehicle with the help of steering. So let us say that for ideal tire, already I have said that at zero lateral force, or we can say there is no slip angle. But in actual practice, due to the road surface, due to the resistance, it is not going to happen. So some amount of slip angle or lateral force is going to generate due to the asymmetric of our tire. So that is about conicity. Moving further, how to calculate or how to determine conicity. So if we have to find or determine conicity, lateral force we have to measure first in the both direction, in the counterclockwise direction and clockwise direction. And from that lateral force, we can determine conicity. So it is calculated as one half the difference of the total values. But keep in mind that counterclockwise and clockwise value that are having opposite signs due to that direction. So for conicity, it is all about moving further, that is ply steer. So we all know that tire is made of different plies, that is stick layer by layer to the tire surface. So we can say that due to that resistance, that ply steer is going to affect. Due to that resistance, the asymmetries in the carcass is going to happen, and due to that, it rolls forward with a zero slip angle. We can say that the our tire is going to rotate like crab walk. How the crab is going to walk. So same kind of phenomena we are going to use for the ply steer. So again, uh, like conicity, ply steer also affects our steering performances. Okay, so in order to determine ply steer, again the same method we are using in conicity, same we are going to use for ply steer. So for that ply steer, we can say that it is calculated as one half the sum of the values. Again, we have to keep in mind the opposite signs of that counterclockwise and clockwise values. Moving further, uh, talking about rolling resistance. Okay, so what is rolling resistance? We already heard about this term when you press accelerator of our vehicle, or we build some energy, whether it is electricity generated or from the gasoline generated, so depending on our vehicle. So due to that, through engine we find power, and this power is going to transfer from our engine to the rear portion. So for that we are using different systems, transmission system, propeller shaft is there, also differential is there, final drive is there. So with the help of that mechanical components, we are going to deliver that amount of power to the wheel. Okay, now what wheel can do or tire can do, the tire is about to rotate in the opposite force of our road resistance, or we can say that that results in your tires turning, and enough momentum is going to generate to move our whole automobile body. So till the full movement going to generate, our vehicle is not going to move. Okay, so to accomplish this, your vehicle must overcome a lot of factors, or we can say the lot of resistance, like road resistance is there, also overall weight is there. So uh, to reach that enough force, okay, we have to reach that force or eliminate such force to start our vehicle through the tire. Okay, and among these one of the factor is tires rolling resistance. So it is between road surface and tire tread. So we can say that these resistance we have to overcome. Also, tire rolling resistance is the energy that we are going to use with the help of our gasoline engine. So we can say the petrol, and these amount of energy are going to waste at the time, because these are the resistance that we cannot compensate in our vehicle performance. So this is the resistance that is going to loss from our side, or we can say that the hysteresis effect. So it is the energy loss that occurs when the tires roll through its footprints, or we can say the treads, and these energies are going to waste, and ultimately we can say that which results in wasted fuel. So this is the concept of rolling resistance. Moving further, here it is a graph about coefficient of rolling resistance and car speed. Car speed is given in kilometer per hour. Also, you will find tire pressure, that is in bar 1, 1.5, 2, 3, 4. These are the pressure, tire pressure. Generally, we are using PSI term. So according to our bike and car case, we will have almost 35 PSI tire pressure. Okay, so by converting that PSI pressure into bar, we will find almost 2.5 tire pressure bar, 2.5 bar tire pressure. So here you can say the rolling resistance is the force in opposite direction that makes the tire less efficient. So you can see the pressure, the tire pressure, that is going to affect overall coefficient of rolling resistance. So if we are going to say that the 10 kilometer per hour speed, if my tire pressure is 1 bar, so ultimately coefficient of rolling resistance is low, like 0.015. If I'm going to increase my speed, so that is from 10 to 140. So at 140 kilometer per hour speed, my coefficient of rolling resistance, that is 0.035. So that is increasing. Again, it depends on the tire pressure. So if my tire pressure is more, you will find less coefficient of rolling resistance. For example, you can say that the 4 bar tire pressure, we will find 0.00, almost 7 coefficient uh, of rolling resistance at 10 kilometer per hour, and maximum it goes to almost 0.012, right? So if I'm going to increase my tire pressure, overall coefficient of rolling resistance is going to decrease. Ultimately, in practically, we are using 2.5 bar pressure in our car or bike. So that is about rolling resistance. Thank you.